It says, NBA question. All right, so who is the greatest of all time? Who is the GOAT? Listen, if you guys know me.
Hey, what's up? No Filter Toronto is ready to present to you one of my brothers. I grew up with this brother here from '98. We go back. This is a day one. This is a brother who, you know, changed his life around, doing some positive things in the community. With no further ado, I'm just gonna let you know who he is.
Yes.
Mr. Augustine Obeng.
Yes!
The author
Changing lanes.
of Changing Lanes,
Yes.
okay?
Right.
All right. I was at his book launch. I was honored to open up for him. And yes. Yeah.
So, Mr. Augustine.
Welcome.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Wow, this is honestly an amazing experience for me to be amongst like 5 beautiful women. You know, jeez, I'm feeling excited. I got butterflies in my stomach right now. Like, come on.
How have you been? Like, how are you feeling today? Like,
honestly, today I feel like I'm in a twilight zone. You know what I mean? I just finished supply teaching at Fairgrove Public School. You know, we all went to Fairgrove. The 3 of us went to Fairgrove. So it's only fitting. It's only right that I come on the show No Filter Toronto to be amongst you beautiful ladies today. So thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it. The whole Bong and T and Changing Lanes family appreciate it 100. So thank you.
Yes.
bless you.
Amen.
Mr. Who's still there? Do you see any teachers there?
The only teacher that's still there from our time that I remember was Mr. England.
Oh, yes.
5 teacher, so he was supply teacher. I guess he's retired now, but he comes from time to time to give back. So I saw him. We shared some moments of laughter. I did that. I went to the beach poem with him.
Wow.
I went to the market to buy some candy.
To buy some candy.
Ain't got it no more.
Ain't got it no more. Ain't got it no more.
You know what I'm saying?
Not one of our brothers would go and take teaching. Not many of you have, you know, our men have gone to take teaching. But how was that experience for you in school?
Obviously, as many of you may have experienced yourself growing up in school, I faced a lot of stereotypes. Some teachers thought I wouldn't amount to anything. They used to put us down and you know, think that we're going to be stereotypes. But I did have a lot of teachers that were supportive and that helped motivate me. You know, it's important to have a strong support system. My parents, my mom, my dad, and my bros always had my back. So honestly, I didn't want to be a statistic, you know? A lot of my friends were dying or going to jail, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to do something different and try to give back. So I decided to become a teacher and do that. And yeah, it's been amazing.
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you, Augustine. So yes, let's talk about your book.
Yeah, what's up?
You know, your book. It's doing big right now.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's. You have so much support.
100.
You know, I see you meeting up with John Tory.
Yeah, the man.
Yeah.
The building. Okay.
You know, like how was your experience with that?
Honestly, it's been a roller coaster. It's really been a ride since I published the book in 2016. And as you all know, all 3 of you were there at the book launch, and yeah, it was amazing. Like meeting John Tory was cool too. I saw him at the Yates program, which was cool. He was very, I guess, very cordial, very respectable. He had a good vibe, good energy. Yeah, honestly, for him tweeting my book and stuff, that was cool.
For real.
Why do people need to pick up this book and read it?
I think first and foremost, reading is a lost art. People these days don't read. Everything is just digital, social media, watching things. So you gotta read. I think one of my uncles, he told me this thing one time. He said, "Those who read are those who lead." You know what I'm saying? So if you gotta learn, and if you wanna grow. So why you should read this book? Because it's a real story. It's written by somebody that you know or somebody that is here, like live in the flesh. I'm a youngster growing up in in Toronto. I was born in the city. I talk about some events in the city that kind of shaped my life and motivated me to be who I am today. I'm sitting here before you as an author, as a teacher, an educator, and a soon-to-be master of social work. So, in a form, I used to play ball a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, we out here. So it's a real story, man. Like growing up in school, I never really read a lot of books from people that I know, or books that resonated with me, or the stories that I could actually feel. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like I read a book called Jeremy Thatcher, the Dragon Hatcher, or something like what is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is actual real life. This is a person that grew up in the Jane. Like I'm from Jane and Finch. You feel me? So like this is a real life, the come up story of how someone was able to navigate through the trials and tribulations of growing up as an inner city youngster. And how I am where I am today. So that's why you should read this book.
Not a lot of it's good to see like a black guy come out of the, you know what I mean, the stereotypical community and kind of, make it out there like you did. Yeah. And it's like what advice would you have for some of the young guys growing up now these days, especially how like this year we had like 85 homicides alone, and you have to admit, right? Yeah. A lot of them were black people like us, you know what I'm saying? So it's like what made you like kind of focus your mind and gear your mind to the path that you took, being an author, teacher, and all that stuff?
Honestly, I think it boils down to self-love, man. You gotta love yourself, you know what I mean? And growing up, no lie.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers to that,
Sure.
But no lie, I feel like you gotta love yourself, like growing up, I had a lot of insecurities, you know what I mean? I'm very dark, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people just come like black attack and this and that, you know what I'm saying? And it's growing up, being in poverty, like, we lived in Jane and Finch, and we didn't really have much. So I always purposed in my heart that I was gonna be something one day. You know what I mean? And I thought I was going to do it with ball and playing ball, and that didn't really work out. So I decided to find another route. And one of my passions was writing. Like growing up, you're not supposed to talk about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? It could get you in trouble. So one of my outlets was writing. You know what I mean? It's a cathartic thing for me. Something that is a therapeutic tool that I use to express myself through poetry and short stories. And yeah, I just decided I had to do something differently. They say you're insane. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So I decided to change my lane and do something different. You feel me?
Yeah.
Okay. So just pick any.
Pick any. How many questions?
All right, cool.
And just read it.
All right, let's go. It says, what is your next move after grad? All right, so I graduated in November 8th from the University of Toronto with my master's in social work with a specialization in indigenous trauma and resiliency. My next move, I'm working full time, so I'm gonna do that. And I have another book that's gonna be coming out. It's a poetry book. It's tentatively called Poetic Panther.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's deep. So yeah, that's my next move, and just continue to build my brand and to inspire the youth and just try to change lanes. I'm at 1,150 copies right now sold. I'm trying to get to 2,000. So you know what I mean? Yeah.
International, worldwide. Yes. You can change your life at any point in time.
All right, one more. Let's go.
A couple more out there.
All right, let's do this. It says, NBA question. All right, so who is the greatest of all time? Who is the GOAT? Listen, if you guys know me, Kobe is the GOAT. Listen, Kobe Bryant's the GOAT. 100%. Kobe's the GOAT. 2-4, man. I used to write, I tried to grow my hair out like Kobe, have the fro. It wasn't really working, so you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Kobe.
So, weed is legal now, marijuana.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get your input on that.
The legalization of weed.
Yes.
Well, I think Canada is very a progressive place, a progressive country, and they're making a lot of strides. Legalization is cool, I think for the people. There's a lot of therapeutic and medicinal uses for marijuana. However, I do feel that that there should be. I know they're trying to do some pardons for people that had weed charges and stuff, and I think it should go a bit further in the sense that a lot of people got wrapped up in the criminal industrial complex by virtue of having a weed charge, right? So now, suppose I had a weed charge, and now a police officer sees me and I'm on probation or whatever the case is, and now they have the right to, maybe you're on curfew, whatever the case is, you're on conditions, and now you got wrapped up with something else, and now they add that charge and that charge. So it's like open a Pandora's box, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's legal. So what about all the people that were affected? I know a lot of people and closely that were affected and that had weed charges in their life, and I feel like a lot of their lives took a turn for the worse. So I guess it's a good thing, but for me, I don't really rock with it 100%. Just because of what the criminalization of it prior, and then I asked myself, why is it being decriminalized right now? Why is it legal? Like, who's
decriminalized from?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and who's benefiting from it? So there's always two sides to a coin. So I think it's important to analyze all of that. And yeah, Canada, go Canada. Yeah.
For you to have that poetry and the vocabulary to kind of
spice it up.
Express your words certain ways. So like that's good.
Do you want to say something? You want to do some poetry right now?
On the spot recital. Are you just right?
On the spot.
I would love to hear it, honestly. Like, if you could remember.
What's your shortest thing you've ever?
All right, man. Listen, you ladies put me on the spot, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, let's go. This is a poem I wrote. You know, I think I performed it a couple of times. I'm just gonna go off cuff though, but
hey,
listen,
viewers here.
All right, I'm gonna need you guys, everyone, to do this for me because we're gonna really get into it.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna need you to close your eyes, for a second and take a deep breath. You know what I mean? You can open your eyes if you choose to. My name is Augustine Obeng, and I'm gonna take you on a ride. Let's go. They said I couldn't do it. They said it can't be done. They said I wouldn't amount to anything. I'll turn out to be a bum. She said I couldn't do it. She said it can't be done. She said I wouldn't amount to anything. I'll turn out to be a bum. She said, take applied classes. You're a typical black guy wearing them Nike Air Forces. No sense in taking academic. You talk too much. You give me a headache. I'm not going to sit here and say it didn't hurt. It hurt. It hurt so bad. She said negative things to make my head steam. Red, hot, like the underbelly of a dormant volcano that was about to erupt and explode. The feelings of rage and anger I had were too much to hold. So I had to channel this rage, this hurt and frustration, together to direct it to a new destination. No hesitation, this medication, so I began to self-medicate. I took a journey, a quest to discover who I am and where I came from. Ghana. I hail from a great lineage of great rulers, from Mansa Moons to the Kwame Nkrumah, and now me. This is my time. This is my destiny. So I had to urge my brothers and sisters to do the same. Live and die for something, have an aim. Live and die for something that you claim. These are my words that I've recited, the words that I've written in the middle of the night, the words that I say that give me courage to fight. Just remember, it's never too late to change lanes.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
I really felt that.
Yeah, you know.
We have a young brother friend of ours that passed away.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Jeremy Paul. He was a great friend of ours. Passed away in the 11th grade. And you mentioned him in your book, and I was wondering if that was one of the, things that impacted you to change things.
Definitely, that was a catalyst. An experience that I wouldn't wish upon anybody. Losing a good friend of mine, like I had a lot of first experiences with him, and we played ball and all that type of stuff, and I missed him, and you know what I mean. And it did impact my life. I remember I was in grade 11 in high school, and when I found out what happened, and there's either two ways, you know what I mean? Either you retaliate or you get angry and you live a destructive life, or you try to do something positive. And I remember when I used to still play ball them times, so I wrote on my shoes like rest in peace Jeremy and all my other friends that passed away, and I'm like, I promised myself that I was gonna live a positive life and try to make him proud, you know what I mean? And speaking at his funeral, that was like the first time I ever like publicly cried, you know what I'm saying? And it's okay to cry, and it's okay to express yourself. So like, you know, that definitely was one of my catalysts. Actually, the poem in the book is a poem that I actually read at his funeral. So rest in peace Jeremy, you know what I mean, and the family, my condolences. I just want to really thank you all for everything you guys have done for me and allow me to be on this platform with you. It's an honor and a privilege, and you know what I mean. And it's dope, like for real. And before I go, I gotta do a shameless plug. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Like, listen, I gotta shout out my little bro Friye. You know what I mean? Friye, Friye. You know what I mean?
Music is crazy. I love it.
Love it.
Shout out all my Obeng brothers. Like, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. I love how you guys are just growing up and just doing your guys' thing and accomplishing a lot.
Yes. You know, we out here, man. So yeah, man. Yo, Free is doing the thing. He has tracks out, Money Team, Falling for You. He got a bunch of tracks on iTunes, all that stuff. So trying to go. We out here.
We're getting undefeated.
So, you know, give your Instagram once
all
again.
that.
Yep.
Okay, so my Instagram is Changing Lanes. So changing, like the book Changing, and Lanes is LAN3S. That's my Instagram handle, and my website is www.changing-lanes.ca. And we got a bunch of merch. We got some hats. We got some hoodies. We got all that. And guess what? You know, I got some gifts for you ladies. So you know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh my God, I want a gray. I want pink.
Don't worry. So this is for the beautiful ladies. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
then what I get to?
yeah, you can give one to Marley. You can give one to Marley. You feel me? You know. So this is just from the whole Bongi and T Changing Lanes family. My bros told me to come out here and bless y'all with some gear. So this is just a little something. And don't worry, we got more colors in the whip. So you already know what it is, man. We out here. We changing lanes out here. You feel me?
Thank you, Augustine, for coming.
Love.
Thank you, Augustine.
You already know. Appreciate you.
Right?
You know, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in. It was great.
For Beauty by Purpose. I know, that is a perfect color. I'm going to wear it to Beauty by.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, dude, keep it up. Yeah, no, I got you. I see that.
Oh man, I want that one.
I know it's hard. I saw that.
Wear that today.
Don't even worry. The purple hat.
Yeah, like that.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to No Filter Toronto. Once again, Changing Lanes. You guys make sure you guys check out my brother and read his book.
That's right.
Yes.
Support your own.
You feel me?
Sure.
Yo, remember, it's never too late to change lanes, you dig? Come on, what you mean?
Yeah.
Listen, I even forgot your free. My bad, homie. Hold on. Yo, but it's okay though. You know what I mean? Just got blessings.
It's so not easy to blink defense in though. So what? What do you know about these? You can't play defense in those. Okay. You don't know about me, girl.
Alright.
Okay.
Just shoes, yo.
Episode 11, No Filter. We have Augustine here, who is pretty good at shooting hoops with these girls. So we're gonna test you out.
Right.
Give us your best three.
Oh.
Yo, so you know what?
Nah, your boots gonna get you. Boots can't catch you. thought this guy was.
Why you making excuses?
Yeah, you don't have to get on the gangster.
You see, true work.
Yo, I'm dying. This is lit, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Enjoy it.
Man, it's awesome.
That was a cheap shot, yo. You guys know that was cheap. Anybody that's gonna watch that video will know that was a cheap shot.
Hey,
Why are you making it so
win, right?